All right, welcome everybody. This is semifinals round three. This is Deep in Jesus. I'm here with the one and only Aaron. How are you today?
Good, good. Ready to get after it. This is the final episode of season two. Can't wait to get into it with you guys.
Season two semifinals, because then we have a big surprise for the finals for the award ceremony, but we cannot spoil the surprise yet because we just can't. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a surprise.
Just a little
Let's
teaser there.
just a little teaser, exactly, and it's gonna be in less than a month, so we can say that. Sweet. Guys, let's go ahead. I think whoever follows us already knows the format. We have four judges today. Actually, no, we have three judges because Brando had some technical issues, had to drop off. But we have Mike from EA Network, TSN, and also Neil from the Polygon team. Which reminds me, we should maybe thank all of our sponsors, Polygon, Samsung Next, Eliza OS, Aglayer, and Masari. And it could be time to invite our judges up on stage. But before that, um, just wanted to give a quick introduction to actually let's bring the judges and then maybe do a little introduction of who the judges are representing, even themselves, right?
Let's do it.
So let's bring on stage Mike, TSN, and Neil. How are you guys?
Doing well on my side. Excited to be here, hang out. I guess I'll just jump in and go first, right?
Let's go.
Stick my neck out a little bit there. No, for those of you who haven't seen me yet, my name is Nil. Been over in the Web3 ecosystem for 5 years as an enthusiast, 2 years as a full-time employee in the space. Previously worked over at Magic Eden with Polygon Launchpad efforts, then transitioned my direct efforts for working directly with the chain. I've been working on ecosystem growth and success. So more or less, I am the point guard for the badass offense that Polygon has. So my entire goal is to dish the rock to all of our resources teams, whether it's technical, grants, marketing, or analysis, whatever it may be, and ensure that all of our existing teams have the support for whatever their endeavors are, right? And working with IoTex has been one of my fantastic teams that I've connected with, and just appreciate all the things that you all are doing and the invite here today to have a conversation. So thank you.
Thank you, Neil. Wow, how do you follow that, Mike? I think you're
Yeah,
the right
damn,
person to
Neil
do
was
so.
so eloquent. But okay, I'll try to keep up. Well, my name is Mike. I'm CMO at TA Network. We are an investment syndicate, and we have a large community of investors. And together, we invest in the best deals in the market. And because of that, we really see like dozens of pitch decks every day. And I think because of that, I have really extensive experience in finding good ideas. About myself, I'm in this syndicate for more than 1 year, and in crypto, I think since 2017. So I've seen many things. I've seen founders succeed and fail, and I'm here to share some of my experience and expertise. And well, good luck to all the projects.
Awesome, thanks, Mike. And TSN, you're up next.
Yeah, I've been into Deepin before Deepin was actually Deepin, so before the world was accepted by Masari. So my history is I've been at Flux, done a lot of the infrastructure. I started as a miner, and then I got into infrastructure, learning about all the different sectors, how it works. I've worked on multiple things. There's too many to name, to be fair. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what people are actually building out there, to see how we're developing this ecosystem. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm quite hyped.
Awesome. And I think maybe it could be great to have our head of product introduce ourselves and IoTex.
Yeah. So I'm the head of product at IoTex, been building the space for the last 3 years. And I was able to see the deep in space blossom into what it's become today. And hopefully, let's see where we can take this thing. So Deep in Space has been around for the last 2 years, and IoTex has really been at the forefront of that, throwing events all over the world and really being the hub of the deep in infrastructure, and bringing a lot of these projects, helping them launch. And that's what this whole incubator and Crypto's Got Talent's about. It's about trying to find the best projects in the deep in space, AI, and crypto in general, helping get them out there, and ultimately helping with the funding and providing them with a little bit of income and backings to help them really be successful. And we have a lot of experience in this space, so it really works well, and happy to have this partnership with Polygon.
Awesome. I couldn't agree more. Guys, I think let's roll. I wanted to thank you for obviously joining us. TSN has been with us a few times already. So what we're going to do now is, I think one of my favorite, my whole show is a favorite time, but this time specifically, I think we have the best theme song ever, and we're all gonna like rock with it for the next maybe like minute. So let's go. Crypto's Got Talent, Semifinals, episode 3.
Yeah, Crypto's got talent. Through Ben, Jesus, and Aaron on my kettle. Let's find the next big bang. Been around the block, seen projects come and go. Most of them basic, nothing special, just for show. But tonight we're different, got a milli up for grabs. Got the stage all set up, watching projects place the tabs. Every founder nervous, ripping slides with shaking hands. Some got innovation, others just got master plans. Me and Eric posted, checking every single spec. Gotta find that winner, put respect upon the tech. Looking sharp in these designer fits. Rating projects like we're taking hits. On that judges panel, keeping standards mighty high. Cause we know what makes it seem too many say goodbye. Welcome to the talent show, where James can build $500,000, gonna make some dreams fulfill. The pin, Jesus, and Aaron, yeah, we keep it real. Show us what you got now, make that crypto deal.
Make that crypto deal.
Let's go.
Let's
I actually woke up
go.
pretty sick, but now I'm awake. Let's get after it.
Let's go. Let's go. All right, guys. So first up today on my list. So we have 2 projects today, and then we round off the semifinals, and then we'll go to the obviously finals award ceremony with a surprise, as we were saying. The first project is called Axal, and let's go watch it.
We're Axal, and we're building an action-based internet. OpenAI has a 5-step plan towards AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence. The third step is the agentic internet. The agentic internet, or what we call the active internet, will only come about if you have strong guarantees that the actions that they take were actually done the way that they prescribe them. Right now, you probably have tons of things that you would not outsource to AI, largely because of fears of hallucinations. If blockchains are good at one specific thing, it's verifying that an action was done the way that you requested it to be done. That comes through. Axal is building a network of verifiable agents, be it catering your dinner for your wedding or planning a trip to 20 different cities on 2 months and making sure that you're at that actual city the day you want to be there, the time you want to be there, and having strong guarantees that each step in that long tail multi-step task was done the way that you prescribed it to be done.
We're leveraging intents, which are a super popular concept in crypto. Thesis, every task, whether it's in Web3, Web2, or physical services, can be divided into a set of building blocks. Axal's goal is to codify these as intents, spit them out into the void. Any human or any agent on the planet can go and fulfill the job. If they provably do it correctly, they get rewarded. Intents on Axal codify the states and optimization criteria. Anyone can build apps that are just spitting out these intent requests into the void. Today, developers are writing code and wrangling APIs. We believe that the agentic future is one where you're just stating your intent and swarms of agents are going and doing it for you. I'll skip this on the architecture. We're using a lot of ZK, ZK-TLS, optimistic verification, auctions, different intent standards. To dive into use cases a bit, Jacob already alluded to some of them. Anything from trip planning, sports betting, DeFi strategies, which I'll dive into in a sec. These are some examples here on the right. Conditional workflows, competitive landscape. Not many people are doing anything too advanced here. Crypto has gone crazy over these very application-specific and centralized agents, things like AIXBT or BankerBot, where they do one thing. You don't have a lot of guarantees on the job being done. You have no transparency to how they're operating, and they're very specific. These protocols in the top left have done a great job at leveraging intents and verifiability, but they're so use case specific, just swaps and bridging. On the generalized side, we think Axal can allow for multi-agent swarms and competition, while also enabling very general purpose tasks to be done. We went through A16Z's crypto startup school. We raised a proper pre-seed around summer 2024. We started off with a broader trading application that had around 10,000 beta users, and we launched a virtuals agent itself. We've experimented with every part of it. We're currently going all in on one specific product, which I'll share my screen and show you guys, called Autopilot Yield. This is it right here. It's leveraging agents to do one thing, which is find the best yield possible catered to your risk preferences. UI is super simple: conservative, balanced, and aggressive. Conservative is a combination of Aave and Morpho vaults that are out there. You can see just by dragging a slider or entering a number, I'm investing my spare cash. I'm earning more even in the most conservative strategy than treasury bills or banking savings accounts. all across Aave and Morpho. So not just going to one DeFi protocol, but agents that are finding the best rates catered to my profile across the board. And we're doing lots of other fancier strategies across different protocols that are out there.
We have partnerships with big players like Virtuals, Coinbase, Arbitrum, MoonPay, and WorldCoin. And more importantly, what we're really excited about is our killer team. Our team is made up of Harvard alums, SIG, West Point, people who studied under Jan LeCun, and even more. Overarchingly, the agentic future will come through blockchains and verifying that actions were done the way that you prescribe them. And the first step towards getting there is building a better crypto risk-free rate on your dollar. And that's the plan towards Axal winning.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Another one that packed so much stuff in like 3.5 minutes. Last week, yeah, we had Mohan from D-Shards do the same. Guys, let's bring him up. I think I'm super excited about this team. We actually had we met in New York City when we did one of the first round of episodes. We were super impressed. We love them. They're super fun. Ash and Jacob, how are you guys?
Hey, thanks for having us. What's up, guys?
Pleasure. All right, guys. So we have about 12 minutes or so. Judges, feel free. Poke holes, ask questions. It's all yours.
I was just going to say, how did you start? Where did the idea come to and sort of incept this?
Yeah, I mean, like any startup, it is navigating the idea maze. I got my start in crypto my freshman year at Harvard, like 2020. Nobody was doing anything. I did free research or unpaid research for a VC who got excited about DeFi Summer. And when I saw crypto, I got excited about like philosophically, blockchains give you something that we don't have with any other piece of technology, guarantees. Like I know for sure that something is true if it's on chain. And when you think about applications of that, yes, Bitcoin, yes, like stable coins and currencies or stores of value. But the part that really got me excited is like actions. I could have guarantees for sure that some action was done. So then lots of pivots, a Zapier for crypto, broader workflow automation, DeFi treasury management automation, like all of these things, which were nice to have, but many reasons why they maybe didn't work out. And then this like weaving in intents as a way to codify tasks, and then agents very much being on the rise, especially over the last year or two. That's when we got our start. So I'd say almost a year ago, literally today, like last June, I was graduating, raised a proper pre-seed around the idea of verifiable agents with intents to codify that. And then we've gone through a lot of things like the trading specific product, and then now like yield, best place to park dollar, very clear initial vision and product to start with. But yeah, like anything, it's been a journey.
I'll go really quick just because I got my start in crypto. I had the final John McAfee interview, just cold emailed him and he replied. And then a couple weeks later, he got arrested. So it was a little bit of my claim to fame. But then, yeah, I mean, I joined Ash in October and it's really cool. I think the big thing on our end is we built a trading product. We realized that like people wanted one specific thing, which was yield. It was kind of it was post-Trump meme coin. So people wanted a place to park their tokens and just earn yield without having the fear of like things getting wrecked. And that's exactly where you want to use a blockchain to verify that actions are done the way that you prescribe them. So, yep, that's high level. Agentic future takes off through a blockchain.
Awesome.
I love it, man. And I think that there's a lot of integrations that like people, this is my favorite integration as far as like how AI is interacting with the blockchain is like taking care of these DeFi tasks and kind of having conversation on that side. So with, we can be honest with ourselves that sometimes people in the Web3 space don't really care about the transparency of these things, right? And it's almost like the hype cycle is like, oh, it's a secret. Like nobody really knows, right? Yeah. So how do you all see yourself positioning like the team and the product to differentiate yourself from some of those and bring importance to what you're doing overall?
Yeah, absolutely. Like it all starts at, I completely agree with that. And it's sad, honestly. Like you look at the Telegram trading bots, the biggest things that print the most money in this industry that have gone the most viral, even like a moonshot, right? Like you have this level of like, not truly your keys, and that's how they automate. I think now we have the tech where I can still automate even if your keys are yours because of some of this fancier tech. So I'll do tech differentiation first. We brought on a guy who did a lot of OKX cryptography stuff. Like for them, massive centralized exchange, proof of reserves, lots of trusted execution environment stuff, ZK, et cetera. Without diving into it, you could imagine how it applies to us. Like we're spinning up a non-custodial smart wallet for every user. Sign in with Google, sign in with Twitter, Face ID, don't think about crypto. Easy on-ramps through some providers, big partnership announcement that I won't name that'll help out there. And then there's a TEE that's holding a specific set of permissions or session keys for what we're allowed to do. So the back end, whether it's an agent or a human or at some point like fully just one custom model trained on my preferences, can only go and move funds between these 5 pools, or only if it's 9 a.m. and the sun is shining in New York are you allowed to go and trade. Like any arbitrary intent and condition, there's proof of that being done inside of a TE. Only transaction execution is from inside the TE. Yeah, that was kind of it, I guess, like the tech and the team. I think that's the main differentiation. And like aggregating across everything is what makes it intuitive. Like, in any world, people just want one-click intuitiveness. And I think the initial demo in that video shows it. Like, truly, one click, sign up, get money in it, click a button, done. Yeah.
And I think we have plenty of reasons to fear custodial, wallets or custodial organizations after FTX. I think I honestly wouldn't be working on this if we didn't have the ability to do these things in a non-custodial way.
So the user still holds their keys then, and then you bridge off from that.
Yeah, so users hold private key. Like, you spin it up, like we're using Privy. Like, I'm not touching this myself. Like, that's like the team has invested quite a lot of resources into that. Like, the thing that we do want to do and innovate on is like these granular permissions. Like today it's blanket. Like even ERC20 allowance transfer from, which is how crypto's operated for who knows how long. Like go to Uniswap, they have unlimited or capped spending permission. That's not granular enough. That's still like contract exploit could go and screw you. In theory, a user, no matter who they are, wants a set of guarantees like whitelisting, time locks, amount of assets that can be moved. And for us, it should get really granular. Like for the conservative strat, we have a built-in automation. If APY goes below a certain level, automatically get out of position. So now you have a new data point that's informing session key signing, like not informing like what I choose to do with my black box backend, but like totally transparent. You know for sure if Aave goes under 3, we're getting out of Aave for you. Like guarantees end-to-end for the flow.
Yeah, and just to like relate to why that's important, like you have risk-free rate in the real world, which is just T-bills. Essentially what we're doing with the conservative yield strat is whenever it goes below the risk-free rate of the real world, you get transferred into the crypto risk-free rate, which we say is like 6 to 8% based off of constantly rebalancing between Aave and Morpho pools. So that is a clear advantage of working in the world of crypto.
Can you walk us through the user flow end to end? I know you mentioned a couple different strategies that you can choose, whether it's aggressive or conservative.
Yeah, I mean, picture in your mind that like dashboard from the video, like you got this big kind of help score circle. You go to the website, that's the first thing that you see on the app page. Create an account, you go through the Privy flow, no different than any other Web2 app, like sign in with email. We're spinning up a wallet for you. Then you got to fund it. So step 1 is create wallet. Step 2 is fund wallet. We're working on making that easier. Step 3 is click a button or strat. So read about the strats, see some of the options. We've talked a lot about the conservative strat, and that was what's in the video. We're rolling out Balance next week. We've been whitelisting folks for it over the past month. We'll get Aaron on the whitelist as well. I remember we were talking about that when we met up with him. That's fancier. It's like Camino looping. That's like Helix, which is a stable coin that launched on Hyperliquid. Like lots of fun stuff that's out there. I think the scary part for anyone, even if you are crypto native, is there's too much to track. So right now, abstracting that away from users, in a month or two, letting people create their own custom automations. But user flow is create account, fund account, click button /select strategy. Last part is 5 seconds.
You cannot bribe the judges by adding them to the white.
All the judges equally. All the judges equally.
But essentially what we're doing on the back end is we're aggregating, we're executing the actual trades, and then we're monitoring those pools for you. So in a totally non-custodial way.
Okay, guys, I also have one question, but maybe I will give just a quick feedback. So I personally think that the product market fit of your IDLA is more in Web3 rather than Web2, because most of the Web2 people, they will prefer a solution from like big brands. And if they want to, buy a flight ticket, probably they will use something else. I mean, maybe Skyscanner will release their AI agent. So speaking about crypto, well, I think the market is not that big yet. And, the number of people ready to use the service is quite limited. However, here is my question. Considering all these things, I think, I mean, can you disclose a burn rate? And depending on the burn rate, can you tell me what revenue streams are you planning to implement? And will they eventually cover your burn rate?
Yeah, this is a really good question. I'll start by saying, like pushing back a little bit, crypto alone is huge. MetaMask has $10 billion in idle stablecoins, like pure idle. USDC and USDT that's not being monetized. Jacob loves to say this whenever we meet people, like button number 6 on MetaMask. So not us, like we're not maybe our app or our front end, but our yield products and agents under the hood that are powering that. If you take that number, if we're able to get 5 to 10% and take some spread of 0.25 to 0.5% off of that yield, passing on the rest to users, MetaMask is taking a cut. They now have a bigger revenue stream than anything else on the planet. We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. Users are happy because they're monetizing that. So that's within just crypto. I agree with you fully on Web2, especially when we think about tasks far beyond. I think this is mostly programmatic. Like we do our job, prove ourselves out. APIs are verifying specific parts for website that you already know and love. Burn rate, we have like 2.5 years of runway. Burn is just salary. Salaries cumulatively get us up to like 600K, 700K a year. We've raised a total of 2.5 that we're living off of right now. We've been quite aggressive on hiring. Like, I think this is the type of business where you want to win as fast as you can. It's a TVL game, more than a monetized today game. Unit economics wise though, our internal mandate, 20 to 30 million in TVL locked in the platform, earning an average of 20% APY. So let's say the average user is parked in the balance sort of strat. We're taking a spread of like 15 to 20% off of that. That gets us to 1 to 2 mil ARR. So totally break even, good to go, starting to make money at that point in time. And then it's just a TVL race. Like, we've been speaking to trad asset managers who want T-bill diversification, like an asset class beyond that, talking about the bigger wallet integrations, but just hustling that TVL target we're well on our way towards. We're at like a couple million soft commits right now.
And the bigger reason we're really rushing or like trying to get TVL on the platform is, one of the people who've agreed to potentially be, one of our advisors is, the former head of research at Consensus. And literally it's like, the advice he gave us is, once you guys hit that TVL, you can go to these wallets and you can have a conversation with them where it's like, you guys are both equal players. We're the best at aggregating, executing, and monitoring yield pools for people in a non-custodial way. And on top of that, you can like have these conversations about integrations in a way that it's like pretty like level playing field. And it's not just MetaMask, there's Phantom, and we have a bunch of partners and like connections at these wallets. I feel like our path is very clear, and that's why we are being very aggressive on hiring.
Yeah. The only thing we want to make a mobile app too. Like, we really are pushing on every front. Like, I agree with you on like Web3 is the start, but I do think like regular people are getting fucked by savings accounts, and somebody will win. I think it'll be either us or Robinhood or us integrating into something like Robinhood, but like these earn type products that are much better than T-bills or shitty high yield savings accounts will win. It's just a race. Like, there's zero question of PMF across the board. I think we just need to like really move here.
I was just going to
guys, I think
touch
we
on
have a
that.
couple more minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say. So you mentioned other products. What are the plans, the long-term plans in terms of other product areas?
Yeah, I mean, so in terms of yield, I feel like our pathway is pretty clear. It's get TVL from consumers, then go and try to integrate with different wallet providers, and then become button number 6 on MetaMask is my line that Ash mentioned. But then, I mean, going to Mike's point, I think that we actually have a strong argument that, so you brought up, would someone trust? No one would trust any third-party agent right now to do, because of hallucinations, to do like multi-step long tail things. Like, if you're saying I have, a huge vacation for my family of 4, that's going to be 10 different cities over the course of 1 month, and it's a vacation we planned for a while. There's no chance you trust an agent to do that right now, because you don't have guarantees that, you're going to be in Milan at 2 p.m. on Wednesday and make sure that you're on, you're in Florence at 5 p.m. on Friday, and all these different steps for those things for 4 people, 1 big vacation. If you had guarantees that each step was done the exact way you prescribed it, that's our bet. That for you to trust or one to trust an agent to go and execute things for you, you need to have guarantees that each step was done the way that you asked it to be done.
Yeah, just to add up, like, picture that example, like planning some family trip is like a set of 5 steps. Like, step 1 is source flight. Axal is running a competitive auction, like a Dutch auction, like what you've seen go well for like Uniswap X and trading firms, but for obviously a very broad intent. Leveraging UMA or like optimistic oracles or ZK TLS for like proof of that thing being true. So this is literally like, at this point in time, Expedia said this was the rate for the flight. Some third-party agent claimed to have booked it. We're proving that they've done it. If they fucked up, they're not getting payment, they're getting slashed, etc. So it's like guarantees for the chain in a long series of chains.
Yeah. Did you guys mention
you're only as good
cities?
as the data going into it, so.
Yeah. Did you guys mention Italian cities because I'm Italian and you're trying to like score extra points, or what's the deal?
Of course we are. You got to win.
Does his research.
You guys are bribing the host. Then you're like,
that was so obvious.
Good. I like the strategy. Sounds good. Anybody else? Maybe one quick last question. Otherwise, we wrap up and move on to the next one. Unless you guys are okay.
Yeah. Just a quick one, guys. Very great demo. I really liked it. Just the last question. Have you ever launched any other project in crypto before? Maybe you had a successful exit or just some experience.
I mean, my YouTube channel is like the closest thing. I mean, I'm more of the like growth side. That had over 1 million views. Had interview, like I had Anthony Scaramucci pitch Bitcoin to Jim Rogers, who is the co-founder of the Soros Fund. Had David Rubenstein from the Carlyle Group talk about SBF. I was the first person to get that interview. Since I joined Axal, we've been running a podcast here. Had the CEO of Tether,
hopefully going to have Robinhood pretty cool. That's actually been one of our great ways to get in touch with these wallet providers or people that are out there. We just say like, hey, you want to come on a podcast? And sometimes we get yeses. And then if we don't get a yes, we bump it 10 times till we get a yes. And then we get the meeting, we have the podcast, and then we have that conversation. But yeah.
The rest of the team's also cracked. I'm the youngest on the team. Just graduated last year, worked at AWS and big tech for a while. And like I said, we pivoted from different crypto related ideas, all of which were good. Like I was selling B2B SaaS to Gitcoin, to LBank, different centralized exchanges. Like I was just doing the bitch work of automating their workflows. Like all great, not like a successful exit. Bring us towards this. I think there's this good balance of like Jacob, like Ari, who's a West Point grad, like literally led a team of like soldiers
Military
for 5
people.
years, like, and other folks like Akam, who's at OKX doing cryptography. Like we all want to prove ourselves. I think there's like, it's a good balance of like experience, but still like hunger here.
Yeah. Our head of DeFi has been in crypto for 10 years and he's been doing DeFi strategies for 5.
Yeah. Pure degen.
In a good way.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Great answers. And yeah, super excited. Thanks for joining us today. We'll bring you off stage and we'll start with the next project. See you, Ash and Jacob.
Good stuff. See you.
Thank you. All right, guys. So next up, we have Genpulse, another project that we met in New York City live, actually. Pretty nice coincidence. So let's check out the pitch, and then we'll go and move ahead to the live Q&A.
Hi, I'm Fiona from Genpulse. Here we present you the DeSci Health protocol from vaginal and hair health to holistic health. The problem we're looking at is the 84 billion women's health market is centralized, exploitative, stagnant, and 73% designed by men. And what's worse, the clinical testing process for gynecology hasn't really been evolved ever since the mid-19th century. We are trying to change this massive market into a decentralized, women-owned market. So here we present our solution, the DeSci AFM Health Protocol that combines the diagnostic deeping layer, which includes the multiple scanners and sensors we bring forward, trained more than 30,000 medical data sets. Then the data layer that includes the wearable and lab data and give you the detailed supplements and routine actionable plans. And thirdly, the Web3 reward layers that's allowing you to earn token, minting NFT, buy each scan. The rewards will include both off-chain traditional rewards that can give you loyalty credits to redeem into supplements, pharmaceutical and cosmetic products, as well as chain rewards, where you can mint your health data into NFTs and choose to trade with pharmaceutical and cosmetic companies. The tech roadmap combines 3 different training data sources. The primary ones will come from the hospital, where we have also been working with dermatologists and doctors since day one to annotate the data. And secondly, the API queries from brands and the company. Thirdly, the progressive data feedback from wearables and the real users. We have also trained proprietary AI for running the diagnosis for the specific medical images. So why we win? While competitors like Mirai or Flow stops at, we own the full stack, which includes the medical grade hardwares, not just questionnaires, interoperable data, not just walled gardens, and real ownerships. That includes
Sorry, guys, there was a little technical issue there. Let me just bring Fiona back. Sorry, guys, we had some technical issue. We just bring back Fiona and Mango from Genpulse. It's due to the technical issue, I cannot like restart the video from where we left off. But I think maybe we have you guys appear on stage with us. So let's maybe just talk about that if you feel like it. So let's maybe see if you want to maybe talk a little bit more about the product, or if the judges want to maybe start tackling some questions.
Sure. Let's just wrap up real quick since the team is already here. So we were going through the team introduction, and we combined a team of like AI, biotech, and Web3 experts. My background came from bioengineering, and Mango previously was I think the third employee of WorldCoin and ex the blockchain club of UC Berkeley. And then our previous funding was backed by Virtuous Ventures, Time Research Lab, as well as top Asia pharma manufacturers. And we're currently also just starting a seed round, and very happy to be here and sharing our project with you guys.
Thank you. All right, judges, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I was quite interested in the device and the sort of the input flow of the data into it. So obviously you're doing AI analysis on top of your own Deepin device. So what is the device?
So we actually have the device with us here, and Deepin Jesus actually tried it out last time. So
and I got a very high score.
Yes. So we're actually combining the AIoT, which is like the IoT plus AI for like the analysis, and then we have an app for to capturing the image transmitted from the hardware, and then give you a quantified analysis towards 14 different parameters towards your hair and scalp, and then it's like a holistic, actionable plan towards that. And hair is actually just our starting point. We're also going into gynecology already, yes.
Interesting. I can see it being used in a lot of different fields, to be fair. It must be a compliance minefield though, but...
Yeah, so for the hair one, it's actually not FDA required yet, but we are starting a clinical trial in Stanford Hospital this July.
Yeah, I feel like most of these devices fall kind of like in the wellness category rather than like full-on medical device. So we start off as wellness, and then while we're in the process of getting the higher tier FDA approvals, we're just there.
Awesome. Cheers, sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
No, I was just going to comment. As an individual who doesn't have much hair left, okay, that's what I will say on this side. Like, that is a struggle of my life. Like, forehead size is a positive for that. My wife loves me regardless. So I haven't shaved the head fully yet, right? And I know that we're speaking from a 1,000-foot view, right? 5 men on a panel talking to women about women's health, right? This is classic of how crypto works. But what it really is the women's health field is underserved, right? And what does crypto and blockchain look to solve? It's looking to make sure they provide resources for underserved communities, right? That's the Web3 why overall. So like, hats off for you all for creating something unique in that way and leaning into what you all know and the community that you all want to support. That's the first thing. And as far as like, I guess it was kind of, TSN kind of had like the initial conversation point that I wanted to start with. But as far as like integrating with these different health ecosystems and different networks and utilizing and leveraging their resources, what has that process been like for you all? Have they been receptive? Like, are they in like what does that look like? You all just mentioned Harvard, which obviously is a great starting point. But what other whatever touch points have you made in that direction?
Right, it's a very good question. So actually, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the DeSci space. So like, this is kind of like a heated topic this year. And I think why everybody started like paying attention to the DeSci is because all the scientists or bioengineers, they're actually not that crypto native, because like the crypto users and the bio users, they're actually very different group. One is very short-term like focused and like rewards focused, and one is like long-term focused, and it usually takes like 8 years to 10 years to exit for just one drug discovery. So by actually integrating like blockchain, AI, and then also like getting into the DeSci focus, that saves our young team a lot of time on the fundraising, because like we have like this whole understanding about how blockchain and AI works, and at the same time we don't need to pitch like. So like I came from Singapore, and then we have like NUH, which is like very like heavy government related funding for like all the bioengineering research, but these are like very long process. So while utilizing the crypto and incentivize our user with the token itself, it helps the project to grow way faster than normal biotech industry. And that also helps us to solve a lot of like longevity problems or like health problems that people like 100 years ago have never thought about solving before.
Very cool. Awesome answer. And I appreciate that. Right. I think education is like the most massive thing that we can be doing to accomplish of bridging this gap. And that's why I'm so bullish on like teams are doing that, building in this direction. Because once you show the true value of like why the tech exists, then it kind of alleviates some of those pain points of like preconceived notions of people and how they operate here. So that's an awesome answer. I appreciate you both a ton.
Thank you.
I was just thinking of what I could do with it from a data set's point of view. So I did some analysis with this on our decentralized network, and you can pipeline this data set to predict things and say, I'm presuming the end goal is to give you a product as well, to say this is going to help your problem.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, useful.
So immediately when I heard from your project,
What?
Hey, sorry, yeah. Immediately when I heard about your project, it made me think about the crypto health ring called Kudus, and also I think there's another similar Whoop. I think it's called Pulse or something, which is launching pretty soon. So the unique part about your guys' data though is the fact that no one's really collecting hair data too much on the Web 2 side. Even can you talk about the Web 2 competitors in this health or in the hair data space?
Definitely. Like the current Web2 competitors have two different categories. One is like the cosmetic usage, which like I guess of our gentlemen here might not be that interested, but like your girlfriends or your wife probably like go to like these salons and have it scanned and then come back and bring like a huge bill. Like
yeah, it's popular now, for example, to like go to Korea and like get a scalp analysis.
Yes,
but this is that without having to fly.
Yeah, but with these machines, it's usually need like a human being to illustrate that to them, and that's also when the upsell and cross-sell happens. So that's also why, like, as individual consumers, we actually might not like that much, because it feels like a sales pitch from their side. They're just giving us the image and then exaggerate the anxiety. And then the second the category of competitors is the medical devices that has been very like built like superiorly, like usually from Switzerland or Germany. And we have our hospital collaborator, National Skin Center in Singapore. They use this photo finder that's costing 200K USD each, like as the device itself, and it's huge. And also when we started talking to Stanford Hospital, they're using similar device as well. That's something like consumers cannot afford. Like we have to pay like $200, $300 each time to have this doctor to use the machine on us. However, with Lush Hair, our first hair scanner, we're gonna make its process accessible, affordable, and with the comfort of home. So that's kind of the like competitive edge.
Yeah, what you're talking about there is the competitive edge from a user's perspective, but what about from a whole data set perspective? Because I think that you guys can generate this massive data set given the fact you can make your device available through this deepened model.
Yes, exactly. That's a very good point as well. So like the data itself, but I guess the quantity and quality is like two different angle we're getting into. So with the quality, that's also why we work with hospitals since day one, so that we actually have like annotation standard and everything trained with dermatologists and the professionals. So when we collect the data itself, they're not just like data with a lot of noise or like unwashed data. They're actually like well-trained data, semi-supervised data, so that we can utilize them in like clinical research and drug discovery research right away.
And I remember in your app there was a few different questions or different pieces of data it takes in outside of just the scanning and the pictures, like perhaps what kind of shampoo you use and how that plays an effect in your hair. Can you talk a little bit about some of those different parameters you look at?
Sure. So that's actually part of our mission as well. We're trying to build this AI protocol for actually like holistic wellness data. So by recording like what's the like treatment we're using, or what's like the age, the gender, the racial group, as well as like your genetic disease history, that helps with like understanding you as a human being and your potential like health problems, as well as like maybe there's also the genetic testing that we can combine as well, like your DNA data, and then we can maybe not only analyze your current situation, but also like predict and help with your future like prevention.
Yeah, and all this just kind of makes the data richer, like you were saying. No one else is really doing this. When you go to a dermatologist maybe once a year, they don't know how often you're doing things and exactly when. And this is kind of a way to help start that journey for you.
And as a user,
Yeah,
are you getting incentivized every time you input that data?
Yes, so we currently have like two different incentivization. One is like when you scan, you get like your like data minted out that you can be able to either just train it directly or just earn like a reward token that you can trade later and redeem into like either buying more hardware or like the pharmaceutical products. And the second way is that you can actually earn incentivization from like engagement as well, because like it also helps with the growth flywheel of the users.
Yeah, this one really piques my interest from a data background. I'm just imagining all the possibilities you can actually go through and process this data. So yeah, it's interesting. But I think a lot of AI models are going to move towards this. I think there'll be a lot of things that come into this market, especially in the medical world. So what's going to be your plan forward to move that forward and grow it?
Agree, because yeah, when we push this to the market from Singapore, in the past 11 years, we actually got like users from more than 28. Yeah, 11 months. Sorry, 11 months. We got users from more than 28 countries. So we see like the potential of going global, going like universal.
So 28 countries already. Oh wow.
Thank you for what you're building, and I think the idea is amazing. I don't really understand much about it since it's more about women, but you know, since there is an aspect of blockchain and DEP in your project, what will be the incentive, like incentives to buy the token or hold the token? Because since you said that people will receive the token as a reward, they will probably sell it, to get some value. But from the other, on the other hand, like why people should buy the token, or it's just an inflationary system which will dump it.
I will say really quick though that like although like we are like femtech, like we want men to use this. Like men should also still care about their hair.
Yeah, so that's one aspect, and then
yeah, look at mine as well.
Yeah, and from the tokenomics aspect, so we have two different like design for like the user to like actually have like value with the token. So firstly, they can use the token to buy hardware or buy like pharmaceutical products, as one of our investors are like pharmaceutical manufacturers, so they can get with like lower price. It's kind of like how Hims and Hers work, but we have like our own token itself. And secondly, so we're also working with different protocols as we're trying to build like this middle ground of like data protocol for like wellness or like agentic usage or even like TE encryption. So we can have like different utility token. Actually, we're working with Virtuals right now to probably launch a wellness cluster token very soon. That can be like the utility token that's like integrating with other ecosystem, while we have our own token that's kind of like you can redeem it into like other ecosystems token if you want to have better liquidity or something to trade.
Yeah, is the user being incentivized providing their data in the first place? So if I scan my head, do I get incentivized every time that data is used?
Yes.
Sweet. All right, guys. Thank you. Yeah, we're at time, but obviously, if people want to like follow up, or I'm sure we'll love to follow up with you guys as well. Thank you for the presentation. I just wanted to ask one last question, which is, can we just spend the last 30 seconds talking about how great my hair score was last night? No, I'm just kidding. It was quite high. It was quite high. For all the other panelists out there, it was quite high.
They don't call him Jesus for nothing, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus didn't reward us with the order. We actually made the first order to Italy last month.
I have those kind of powers as well. Guys, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. We are really fond of your project. Let's see what happens next. But yeah, I'm super excited that you guys were up here on stage with us today. So thank you again.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, guys. We have one more, actually. We have Anjali from Avo, and we're going to play the video first.
Hi everyone, my name is Anjali and I am one of the founders of Avo, and today I'm going to give you a product walkthrough of what our app is. So Avo is a marketplace for crypto trading agents. You can find different types of agents that will trade on your behalf depending on what it is that they're doing underlying. This could be an agent that's trading meme coins on pump.fun. It could be an agent that's tracking KOLs, or it could be an agent that's looking at sentiment data on Twitter to make buying and selling actions. So let's say, for example, I go here into Risk. Risk is an agent that is following a KOL wallet. From here, I can always look into the wallet. I can look into the performance over time. So you can see how Risk has been performing. And at any time, I can also see what positions this KOL is holding. I can also change the protection levels. So I could choose, for example, to go to something more guarded. That's one of the safer options when it comes to trading with our agent. And you can see that it's holding much, much less. These protections basically make there to be minimum market caps, liquidities, and volumes. This makes it so that the trades you're able to get access to with a certain agent is a little bit more risk adverse than you might otherwise expect. So yeah, you can see what it's holding, and then you can also look and view the agent logs and see anytime there's a buy and sell that was triggered. And yeah, let's say I want to go back. I can always go into something like indexes as well and see different options here. But let's say I want to track a wallet. I'm going to connect my Phantom right here. So just go here, log in, and sign into the website. From there, I might decide I want to trend by the month. I'm going to look at all the options. I'm going to say this guy looks pretty good. So I'm going to click into this one. I can look at all the tokens it's currently holding. I can always factor it in this way as well. I could decide, okay, you know what, I'm feeling pretty good because 30 days ago this person was performing quite well, and I'm going to send it 0.17. And from there, you'll see that it's triggered. And there you go, your agent pool is created. I can always go back on profile at any time and check what my agents are doing, and I could always check how they've been performing over time as well, and see what the current allocation of that certain agent is. And you can see that this one is currently being deposited and allocated as well. And that's it. I hope you enjoy Avo, and yeah, that's our product.
All right, let's bring Anjali up here on stage with us today. Hello, how's it going?
Hello, it's going well. How are you?
All good, all good. Thank you. Thanks for the presentations. And I think, guys, it's time. Let's see if we have any questions here.
Awesome.
Like I was just going to say, I was seeing sort of like a few products like this. So I think for me, it's all about the security of it, and how do you sort of integrate what you integrated in? How do you sort of determine what the call is? Who are the calls? So if you're making trading decisions and you're copying a call, where's that data coming from?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So right now the agents are actually built by quants. Most of them are built in-house by our dev. That's a quant that's literally been doing this for a living.
And the calls can be basically just like back testing a bunch of different types of strategies. So it could be looking at a bunch of pump fund related strategies of buy at market cap of 5 mil, sell at, I don't know, 10 mil. That's like not a great strategy. I hope no one does that, but that could be the strategy that someone uses. So the idea is that he's building all of these strategies. He gets them back tested so you can see how they're performing, and then you can use them over time on Avo. And so that's kind of how it works. And then we also have an agent stack from the entire flow. So the idea is the calls are coming actually from LLM models, think of it like a DeepSeek or a GPT. And the idea is that over time it's getting smarter and figuring out what's actually working and iterating on the agent strategy according to that.
Yeah, it's not one I'm sort of interested in terms of working. It's more of the security of like the funds as well. So what do you have? Like you connect your Phantom wallet, but what security measures do you have between them and the exchange?
No, that's a great question. The biggest is that we use Webacy. If you've heard of them, they're a security provider. So they actually audit through all the tokens that people are allowed to trade, and it takes into account any scam tokens, anything like that, so that people are trading legit tokens for one. On top of that, we have protections in place so you can trade at certain market caps or liquidity levels. So that means if you are really scared of a rug, you can pull out before the token drops a little bit lower. So that's also another protection we have in place.
Nice. Yeah, I love the team over at Webacy. Actually, they were previously located here in Cleveland, so a personal connection, and now they're down in Miami because that's what you do. You know what I mean? When you do big things in crypto, you move to Miami, apparently, or New York. Yeah. But regardless of that, just want to get a little bit about your background, some of the team members that you have, some experience you have in the space. Want to kind of have a lowdown on that side, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, for sure. So there's 3 of us co-founders. We're all about under 20, but we have advisors that are crypto natives, have been in the space forever. For me personally, I come from a TradFi background. I used to work at the NASDAQ, a pension fund, and then I went into crypto and worked at a hedge fund and traded meme coins for a living. And then my one co-founder is a quant, so spent his entire time building algo strategies, was going to retire off of it, then met us, and he's like, this sounds like a lot more fun. And then the final one is an exit founder. He's on his 5th company right now, but he's built blockchains in the past for fun, bots, all of that fun stuff. So he's our CTO.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I have a question. So honestly, I've seen lots of projects building something the same, different trading agents with some profitable stats. Especially if you test them retrospectively. And it all worked, and it was quite popular in December and January. And it all worked until it all failed. There were so many trading agents and even like VC or investing agents, and they were performing, and then they just failed and lost lots of money. And so here's my question, like, how do you differentiate from other solutions, and what have you learned from like first iterations of these agents earlier in December and January?
No, completely. The biggest thing, like not to like shade other companies, is simply that like a lot of the stats are false. Like they're non-accurate back tests, or they're literally not doing it like you're supposed to be doing if you were working at a hedge fund. Like it's inaccurate back tests. Oftentimes they're like not taking into account all of these restrictions and data points you're supposed to take into account with a back test. So oftentimes users are going into strategies that are actually not calculated properly. And they don't know that because most people aren't data scientists and quants that have done that for a living, that know what that's like. So oftentimes, it's very frustrating that this exists in crypto because it creates this narrative of like, this is a scam industry because I'm going to buy into all of these agents, or I'm going to buy into this token price and it's just going to crash and it's going to go down. The Web2 person isn't going to understand it, and then they're going to be really frustrated and angry and leave the space forever. And the reason that happens is there's so many bad actors right now when it comes to crypto trading agents that are just building things inaccurately. And because there's no competitors doing it right, no one's changing it. And the reason no one's doing it right is because it's not as profitable. But I don't know. I feel like in a space where you need more trust, having a product that is able to endure multiple cycles is better than having a product that exists for 2 months and then everyone leaves it because it's not working. It's a similar thing if you look at the trading bots on like Telegram. a lot of them are taking massive cuts and then they're not back testing properly. Same with exchanges like GMGN. They're just not back testing properly. So you're getting all these fake numbers, these fake results that aren't actually accurate at all. So for us, it was very much how do we rebuild the entire stack, even let users in the future build their own agents onto Avo. And it's completely backed by data, backed by science, backed the way it's supposed to be. So you're actually building legitimate strategies, legitimate agents without having to be technical, but knowing and trusting that the information is right.
Yeah, because I've played about with some of my own infra and sort of working out the strategies, the models, back testing, and doing that data. So obviously the strategy you're using is sort of cumulative to what market you're in. So if you're in a bull market, you might use one strategy. If you're in a bear market, you might use another.
Exactly.
So how do you sort of convey to your customer which one's the best to use, and what do you sort of say in terms of trust? So obviously a lot of people might say, I'm going to go this way, I'm going to go that way.
Yeah.
There's Golden Cross, there's loads of different strategies. What's the sort of interface? Do you actually explain what those strategies do and how they work to the end consumer?
Yeah, no, it's very much, it has evolved into almost a learning tool from just getting user feedback. So it's very much like you understand what the strategy does. You can see all the buy and sells that it's done and why it's done them as well. And so you can see if it's looking at market data. Oh, this person just tweeted this, so this agent bought X amount of this token, for example. You can also do your own back tests and analysis. And what we're also actually trying to implement in the future is having custom agents for each user. So that means you as an individual can have your own Avo agent, and that's influenced by the type of trader you are. So if during a bear market, you're more farming and you're not doing anything crazy, maybe you're staking your assets, whereas in a bull, you're in the trenches, you're buying some of the popular meme coins, we can actually have an agent that's able to study your behavior and trade like that for you in the future. And that's kind of the end goal, and that's really what sets us apart and creates a moat for us.
Is the agent actually able to do staking?
Not yet, but we're building that in-house right now.
Okay, cool. Just curious if you have any figures on how much your users are actually earning at the moment.
We don't. I would say on average, it's about a 50-50 right now. A lot of them are choosing to go. So we have different protection levels. There's degen, moderate, and guarded. Everyone is going into degen in true crypto fashion. And so I told them, hey, this is like the most risky. You might lose money. They're like, I don't care because I could 40x. So it's a lot of the personal choice of the user knowing that they could have made more money or had safer options that are just personally choosing not to.
Any rough figures there then? Like,
I
are
would
some
say
of them just losing their money, or how does it look?
It's definitely a 50-50 of like people making money. It could be a few dollars. It could be, I've seen some people do 3x's. I've seen some people not do as well. I would say it's a 50-50 people losing their money to like making money.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just thinking about your competitor landscape a little bit. So of course you're competing directly against some of the AI agents that are just out there, but there's like some issues with verifiability, and some of them are just fully scams. But then there's also like the staking in the DeFi world, where you can also generate pretty good revenue and sustainable income as a user. But I guess those are more designed for the bear market type of times. So that's why I think it's cool that you're planning to go to the staking route and as an option, or maybe other DeFi pools that you can potentially try and enter in the future date. That is like the plan, eh?
Exactly. And we don't have to build it all in-house. We've been talking to so many teams that we could just partner with, because our real end goal is how do we create an agent for you, like an Aaron agent? And then, like, what does that look like in the future? That's kind of the future we're headed in. So yeah, it could be, we've been partnering with so many teams that just, they can do staking better than we can. So as much as we're building it in-house, why not bring in teams that are much better than we are?
And just a question around bringing your own agent. Maybe you guys, let me rephrase. So you guys building the agents, or having your quant guy building all these agents, versus having third parties go and building those agents, and then you guys just being the third party like verifier in between. What was the decision making process there?
It was, at least to start off with us building our own agents, it was to create trust in the community. We actually knew how to build good agents because we all came from a TradFi background where that's all we did for a living. And it was really just to build trust. It was to early populate our dashboard with a lot of agents. And now we're starting to have teams coming up to us being like, hey, I want to build my own agent. This sounds really cool. So it was very much just like, how do we get to market right away?
Got you. So there are going to be like bring your own agent type of things, and they're going to receive a portion of the revenue. Can you also talk about how you guys make money as well, and
Yes,
how
yes.
those agent builders make money?
Yes, it's a 1% transaction fee. Think of it similar to a pump fund or any wallet provider when it comes to trading. So we take 1%. If it is another builder, we split that 50-50. So the builder gets 50% of the revenue.
Got you. And then I'm sure there has to be, again, some verifiability in there, or back testing and all that kind of stuff to make sure that this agent that is coming in is approved.
Completely. Yeah. So we backtest all of the agents. We look at the performance for 3 months at least to make sure that it's performing well. We also make sure that it's not doing anything malicious. So it's not an agent that's like rugging its entire community. And then we also just like look at the whole LLM stack. So even if, and looking at the prompts that the engineers gave it. So making sure, again, there's no malicious actors, things like that. So at least for the initial agents, we've been very one-on-one with the teams we've been working with, really making sure that we believe in the calls of the buys and sells they're doing. And we understand it ourselves internally as a team, and we know there's not going to be anything malicious that happens in the future, but also having WebSC and our own protections in place. So even in the off chance it slips through, those other protections catch it.
Do you have like a demo feature, so like a user could use it for a certain amount with sort of like a certain amount of funds to test it for a certain period? Or
We don't yet. We've been wanting to do paper trading forever. There's just other feature requests that have been higher up in the priority list. But we do at one point want to have paper trading as well.
There's no minimum though, is there? About how much?
It's $10, like 0.1 SOL, so it's nothing crazy.
Gotcha. And I've heard you guys had a big week this past week with your token launching. You mind talking about how that went?
Yeah, no, it went well. It was completely accidental, which is sometimes the best way to launch tokens. But in terms of our marketing, it was like less than a 1K spend. We ended up reaching 2 million people across Twitter. So it was really great to see that. That was our first official marketing campaign. It was the launch of our product. Since then, we've hit 7K users in just like the last weekish alone. Yeah, I was supposed to be there for Web Summit. I was supposed to be going to all these crypto parties, and instead I was just like in the basement having to deal with all this traction that we were getting out of nowhere, and people just like running with our product and trying to push it in different directions.
You're supposed to be in Vancouver, hey?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's too bad. So what was the accident? What happened?
It was very much me just saying at LaunchCoin on the main Twitter post, and I was thinking what would happen was it would just create a like token of the tweet, but it actually created a token of the company. And it was like too late before I realized it.
Oh wow.
Sweet.
So how does this change your plans moving forward?
I think it makes it more exciting because we get more community involvement from day one than we were expecting to. And so now you're having thousands and thousands of users that are giving you feedback actively, that love what you're building, that we didn't necessarily tap into from day one. And I'm like, that's actually one thing we've loved is there's literally thousands and thousands of people on our Discord right now actively engaging with us every single day, excited about the product and the direction it can take. And that's great signal for us that I think we needed internally on the team, but it also helps shape the direction of the product in a way where users are able to give feedback and we're able to get real-time iteration in.
Yeah. No better way to build a pipe than just launching the token, so that works.
Yes.
Awesome. Guys, I think we're at time for Anjali. So thank you very much for answering all the questions. Obviously, best of everything for the next steps. And thank you for being here. Okay, guys, let's wrap up in the next couple of minutes. As usual, we do a little thing where we try to build or think of an application that uses all the projects that were here on stage with us today. So give me some ideas, guys.
My hair data is going to be a shitcoin for sure. You know what I mean? Like that's easy money, dude. Actually, so fun fact, my forehead has been tokenized prior. So Forehead Coin did launch previously. People were using it as a billboard for advertising other projects. And so you burn the token and you get to advertise on my forehead. Not associated with me at all, but I thought that was hilarious in general. Damn. Combining them all. Somebody else give me TSN what you got.
So what we're going, trading bot. So taking the trading, how much hair do you lose through trading on one of these bots on a 50-50 split. Yeah.
That works.
So if you take that as a data point, can they feed it into their own model? It's really interesting, yeah. So could you use that data point?
What are your thoughts, guys? Like some interest you maybe more, some you think maybe need a little bit more work, or obviously we were a little bit at different stages with all three, but yeah, what were your thoughts?
For me, for the trading stuff, I really go into sort of, because I am a data scientist for that background. I want to be able to see the code and what's generating it, so I don't always sort of see the face view. So I tend to do that on my own info rather than anything else, and I don't want anybody else copying what I'm doing. And it's at your own risk and at your own rewards. But there is sort of the click and play. So if you are doing the security around it. So are your funds secure? You're actually using these tools? Have they been audited? All that sort of fun stuff. So yeah, it's really interesting to sort of see what these guys are building. I see quite a few different ones, different aspects. I think if you look forward in terms to the AI generated stuff, it's going to be sort of learning your style, learning your risk to reward ratio, and being able to see that process. So.
Sweet.
From the investor point of view, I would say that the first two projects have much more traction than the last one. I would say the last one is a bit too early to invest, like for like a syndicate like us, and it has to test and implement lots of features to prove that it can be sustainable in the longer term. Regarding Genpulse, I really think that this kind of product has a lot of potential, and I've already seen many DEPIN projects finding its product market fit in the Web2 world. And well, I mean, IoTex is one of them, but there are so many others. These are the projects from crypto that actually generate revenue outside of crypto. This is what I really like. And yeah, and Axal, I mean, these guys, they are really funny and they're very talented, and they've already got initial funds that will let them really cook and build something valuable. And as they said, they have enough money to be sustainable for like at least 2 years, which is, I mean, that's a lot in crypto. And the idea itself is also quite interesting. So I just wish them good luck. And yeah, because I mean, luck is something that is needed in crypto, because you never know when adoption happens. It's sometimes it's not really planned. It happens accidentally.
Yeah, thanks for the insights, Mike.
And the last comment I'll make here as we kind of wrap up is like in this space, like I truly think that I bet on people more than anything. Right. And what you can say about all these teams is that like there are some cracked people putting their heads down and working hard to find, their fit. Right. And that's what you got to be pumped about, is that we're getting down to these final rounds. The teams are really like, this is going to be a hard one, right? Like to see like how things finalize. And it's because the teams are so capable and they have such great backgrounds, and they're all trying to accomplish unique things in this space. So obviously hats off to all the teams for working hard. Like I also just reviewed the Avo token, hasn't crashed yet. So GG's on that side, right? Like you got to love a meme coin that doesn't get wrecked in this ecosystem. But everything across the board, they're doing innovative stuff. They keep working in a good direction. And I'm excited to see how things shake out here, obviously. So all teams should just continue to grind and find avenues for growth, because they'll all find their success in some way, shape, or form.
100% agree. Sweet, guys. Aaron, anything from you?
Yeah, I loved all these projects. I go through the phases of degen activity where I'm trying to invest in these meme coins, and also like mess around with some of these DeFi pools. So I love the idea to be able to automate on both sides. So really excited about both those projects. But really the Genpulse is so down our alley, and the kind of projects that we work with at IoTex. So, all of them I'm super excited about.
Sweet. All right, guys. Well, I wanted to thank you all for obviously, sharing your insights, questions, participating. So that was amazing. I hope to see you guys for the surprise next episode of Crypto's Got Talent. We'll eventually announce at some point. But yeah, thanks everybody. Thank you all the guys that came and pitched. This rounds up the semifinals. So now it's maybe time for Aaron, myself, and the team, and the community and the judges to sink in and figure out who the winners will be and when they will be announced, etc. And we'll get back to everybody ASAP. So thanks again. See you around.